Hey everyone, welcome back to preset.biz. Today we're going to be doing an in the style of Joel Corry video where we make that summer UK piano house kind of vibe. So let's jump straight into the project and see what we come up with. So first of all, I'm going to load up an M1 plugin just to get that piano sound. You can just load up the piano sample straight away that's in this pack and just put it in a sampler, but I just decided to go for the M1 because I already have it. So to start things off, I'm just going to drag in Piano Chords 06, which is one of the MIDI files that comes with this pack, and this is what it sounds like. So now I'm going to start adding some drums and just kind of building a vibe a bit around this track. So let's just go through some claps and see which one sounds best. So I quite like this one here, so I'm just going to now flesh it all out a bit. I'm also going to add a top loop from this pack and also like a nice snare feel. Again, just to kind of, build the energy up. So it's already sounding quite nice, but we could fill it out with a bit more effects, cymbal crashes, various different things, just to kind of, build the energy a bit. So I've added this plugin here called Hype. Shout out to Frank Pohl who made it. It's essentially just endless smile. You can thin out your track, add reverb and all sorts of stuff. Just automate that before the drops and then it just feels much bigger on the drop. So I've also added a piano house crash in this track just to kind of build the whole house vibe in this song, and we've got like a nice 4 on the floor crash going on here. And then we've got some volume automation on the piano, so it completely cuts out everything before the drop. The only thing that's coming through is the clap, and then I've also added this clap fill layer, which is like a nice reverby clap, like a nice big clap, just to kind of mark the end of the build and transition into the drop, which sounds like this. So I'm now going to cycle through some of the kicks and just see which one suits this track the best. So I quite like this one, it sounds quite clean. I've now added the kick into the track and we've got all the other percussions coming in as well. And a nice little double kick effect here. And it just kind of helps to build the energy and just keep things going. All right, so let's move on to the bass. So let's use this one here called Head. And it's just playing the lowest octave of the chord progression, which fit perfectly for this project. I've also gone and added a reverb to this bass just to kind of give it its own space. So the second layer is a serum layer called Alone, which is also part of this whole preset pack. And it's just got like a really nice deep character to it. And then we've also got this layer here called Heart. So altogether they sound like this. It's quite simple, but I mean it's quite effective with the drums. And also the contrast between the build and the drops is always super important because that's what makes the drop feel bigger. Having like a really atmospheric kind of big feeling build, and then the drop just goes quite dry, even though we've got a bit of reverb for spacing, but it feels quite dry and quite minimal, which is nice. And this is what we have so far. There's also these nice little clap fills here, which are really cool for filling out spaces. They come from the Fish in the Lake pack, which you can also get on preset.biz, and this is how they sound. So with these kind of songs, it's normally quite key to have a vocal chop or like an ad-lib just playing throughout the whole song, something quite hooky just to kind of get you singing along. But here I've just added like a nice chop which comes in this pack again. And you can add so much more to this. You could chop it up more, you could have like your a cappella from your song, for example, and just chop it up completely, add distortion, just stuff to keep it more interesting. All right, so let's go and listen to the whole production all together. Obviously, you might want to add a couple more elements in here, like maybe some different chords, pads, synths. I've thrown in the vocal chops in here just to kind of keep it more interesting, but let's take a listen. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and let us know down below if there's any other artists you'd like us to cover like this. Make sure to give us a like, subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next one.